Welcome back to the fourth video. This one is all about the melee mechanic, which also uses cards, but it uses a different card deck. It uses the combat card deck. So, Doug is pretty pissed off about having just been shot in the face last turn. And he's going to march right on up there to about an inch away from Flintlock. Very good. And he's now going to initiate a melee attack by spending 1 energy.
1 energy.
So we bring out the melee deck, and we draw 6 cards to the attacker.
Okay, but wait a second, Tom. In the last video, you said that we draw the number of arcane cards equal to arcane stats.
That's right.
But I see that Doug's melee stat is 4, so why is it 6 cards?
That's right. You draw a number of cards equal to your melee stat, but the attacker always draws 2 extra cards because they're the one with the impetus. They're the one putting the energy in to make the attack.
Is that for every attack or just the first attack?
Every attack. So whenever you're the attacker, when you're the one that spent the energy, you always get a bonus 2 cards.
Okay, so that's 6 to me then, I
6 to
believe.
you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
And then I draw 3 cards. I just have a melee stat of 3. I don't get the +2 bonus, so just 3 cards for me.
1, 2, and 3.
So the melee cards, unlike the arcane cards which have a number and a colour, are 6 different kinds of combat move that you can make. They include things like guards, thrusts, cuts, sweeping cuts.
Okay, so
falling
it's
swings.
both aggressive and defensive.
Exactly right. And each one of us chooses what kind of move we want to make.
Okay.
And there's a bit of a rock, paper, scissors effect in that certain cards are particularly powerful against other cards, and some are going to backfire horribly.
Right.
For example, if you were to do a falling swing against your opponent, and
so a falling swing would be like an attack from above.
Attack from above, exactly.
Yes.
And then if I was to do a high guard to defend
you're
it,
blocking up high.
that's right. Then I could reduce all of your damage to 0 and make a follow-up attack back of my own.
Okay, that makes sense.
There are various combinations which will do back damage to both of us, and combinations in which one player is clearly the winner and is able to turn the attack back on the other player.
But likewise, if you're blocking up high and I didn't attack from high, I attacked from low. That would actually mean that you would be you'd be defenseless.
Exactly right. If you were to do a rising attack against my high guard, I would be in a world of trouble. So
up a certain creek without a paddle.
So there are various ways, and we'll go on to that in the next video, where you can both anticipate what your opponent is going to play, but also misdirect them by letting them think you're going to do one thing and actually doing another, so that you can catch them off guard.
Okay, so let's see how it goes.
Okay, so we both study our hand of cards and decide what card we are going to play.
Ooh, that's a good card.
So I've made my decision. Have you made yours?
You know what? I have.
Okay, so we play them both together, face down.
Okay, face down.
Okay, right. So
But
now,
wait, Tom, I have done 2 cards and
that's
you've done
right.
1.
So if you flip your cards over now, we both reveal simultaneously. Richie has played 2 cards. That is called doing a power-up. One of the advantages of having a larger card of hands is that if you've got a duplicate of the same card, you can play them both. You can even play 3 of the same card, and the damage is added together.
Could you do 4 of the same card?
No, because there's only 3 of each combat move in the deck.
That makes sense.
It's a very small deck, and that's actually quite a good thing because it gives you more information about what your opponent might have in
And
their
could you
hand.
mix and match them? Could I do, for example, a thrust and a sweeping cut?
You could not. They have to be matching in
Okay.
order to do a power up. So what we do is I'll put these up on screen now. So we compare Richie's cards to mine, and we look on Richie's card to find the move that I played. So on Richie Thrust we find my sweeping cut, and we can see that the damage that he deals against my sweeping cut is absolutely nothing.
Oh.
Because I've correctly...
Even though I've done 2 of them?
Even though you've done 2 of them, it's wiped out to nothing because I've correctly chosen the card which counters your thrust. I saw you coming in with that lance, I knew what was in your mind, I did the sweeping cut.
Why,
the old parry. So, you can see that I've on my card, when I look at thrust and the damage dealt, that there is a yellow circle around my 0.
Right, so currently it's saying you don't actually do damage.
I don't do any damage, no, I've simply batted your weapon aside, but the yellow circle is very important. It means I get a follow-up attack.
Okay, so we're looking at a parry and riposte situation.
Exactly. So, now I know exactly what you've played. You've played a thrust. So I can look back in my hand and find a card which is good against the thrust.
And do I get to play another card?
You don't.
Okay.
No. I'm the one with the follow-up attack.
Ah.
So you're a sitting duck for my return thrust.
Ooh.
So I now play a thrust. You can't do any damage to me because this is my follow-up attack. So I just look on my thrust at how much damage my thrust does to your thrust, and it does 3 damage.
No. So you're telling me, even though I have attacked you,
that's right,
I'm the one who's taking damage?
Afraid so.
Wow.
Some of us are winners, what can I say? Now, it's not always going to be that way. That was an example to show how the mechanics work. In the next video, we'll go into a bit more information and some of the tactics and options that were both available to us, but I hope you understand the basics of how the combat mechanics works. See you on the next video.